Alright, so today we are basically checking out the Specta Mini camera drone, and in this video I will be sharing a few reasons why I think this could be a very good bang for your buck beginner camera drone, especially when you're comparing to the DJI Mini 4K. And at the end of this video we will also do some real-world flight tests just to demonstrate the functions, and you can see how it performs, and ultimately you can decide if this is the right drone for you to get started. Let's go. So one of the first questions you might have is, how is the quality of the Specta Mini? Is it good enough? For my personal test, I can tell you that the Specta Mini offers an almost identical flying and filming experience to the DJI Mini 4K. So in fact, I believe the Specta Mini is about 99% same as the DJI Mini 4K. They look the same, they fly the same, and even the app on your iPhone looks nearly identical. So the only real difference is one is called DJI and the other one is called Specta. So the one that is called DJI, you're going to have a DJI stated right here, but this one you can see that on the arms, it is just completely blank, and the box says basically Specta. Alright, so the next point is coming from a beginner perspective. There's a few key features you want as your first drone, and the Specta basically has it. So the drone that you want, it should have GPS built in. That doesn't require you to calibrate like each time. So sometimes some drones like that have GPS that will basically ask you to like before every flight, they will want you to turn it like this, they want you to turn it like that to calibrate the magnet field or something, and it's just a hassle. I just hate it. And this one, you basically don't have to do it. It's basically good right out of the box, and you don't have to adjust much. So that's the first thing. And having a GPS is going to be very important because it basically ensures you can self-position in flight, so your drone is not going to like drifting around during flight, and when it doesn't stay in the mid-air, like stay put, it's just very hard to fly. Besides of this, you will also get the function so it can basically set a home point, and when you press a button on your radio, it's just going to return home, or if you accidentally lost your signal, the GPS will also guide the drone home. So this is a very important beginner function I think you must have on the drone. So the next is going to be the optical flow sensor. So you do have two optical sensor like that is facing down. So this is the only two sensor that is built into this drone. So this drone doesn't have any other sensors, but it does have an optical sensor. So the optical flow sensor, basically what it does is when your drone is flying, right? So it's going to detect the relevance of the ground and your drone, so it's not going to go like up and down, up and down, up and down. It's going to stay put right there. And besides of this, you will also get the ability to, like when you're landing, the drone is not going to like slam itself like completely right down to the floor. It's going to slowly descend, detects the ground, and like slowly drop the speed and lands like that. So this is how optical flow does, and this is also an important thing that I think you should have. The next important feature that you will want as a beginner is going to be good enough camera. So the Specta Mini actually offers a 4K 8-bit filming camera. You will be able to film good enough videos for your vlogs, your family, whatever trips. This is going to be good enough that you will be able to use on most of your scenarios if you're not using it for commercial purpose. And yeah, the footage actually just looks pretty stunning. You can see a short clip from here. It's very good for a $200 something drone. This is a perfect camera. And besides of the footage quality, another important aspect you will want is going to be gimbals or something like an image stabilization function. So this one, the Specta Mini, actually has a 3-axis gimbal. So basically, when your drone is moving around and shaky, the footage is not going to be shaky. So because the last thing you want is a shaky footage, because no matter how good your footage is or resolution you have, if the footage is like shaky, you won't be able to use it at the end. So this is an important thing. So basically this summarizes what the Specta has, and I think it does have the important 3 essential aspects. So let's review. So you're going to need GPS, and you want optical full sensor, and the number 3 is good enough camera, and the Specta has all of these. Now let's just talk about the price. This is probably the most appealing part, as the Specta Mini is currently available on Amazon for around just $250 plus or minus, because it's at the end of the year. I do see a lot of lighting deals and stuff coming out, promotions. So I'm not sure how long this deal is going to last, but compared to the DJI Mini 4K at $299, the Specta Mini is much cheaper. At this price, I would say you won't find any brand that would even come close to compete the cost and the performance you're getting. So this is something that I have to say. I did actually purchase this on Amazon. I did actually give it a good review. Do know something to be aware of, the Specta brand is DJI is already a well-known brand and already has their customer service reputation established to a point that is considered trustworthy. However, on the other hand, Specta is much newer. Although they might even be the same company, there might be some concern on how efficient their customer support is going to be. But I guess this is something we will be finding out over time. So currently, if they're just taking whatever DJI is having, it seems like this is it. There shouldn't be much like arrows or whatever coming out, because it's kind of like a product that was developed over the years and they're just selling the whole package to somebody. All right, so those are my main reasons of why I think the Specta is going to be a very good beginner drone. Now let's head to my front yard and let's just go test fly it to see how it performs. All right, let's get going. All right, so we're switching the scene to my front yard and we're basically going to quickly test fly the Specta Mini to see how it performs, and yeah, to see what functions can it offer as such a budget drone. All right, let's begin. So to get the Specta Mini set up, okay, let me see. You should be able to see my another screen here. So same drill, you're just going to power up like any DJI equipment. You double press it and it should power up the equipment. And what you're going to have to do is on your cell phone, you're going to come here and you're going to open the Specta app. So you can see that this basically it's 99% identical to the DJI experience. It's just the same. I just don't know what words I can use it, but besides this is Specta, the rest just looks like it. Okay, so as for the drone side, same drill. You're going to flip it over. You're going to double press it. Okay, and it's going to light up like this. We're going to have to remove the gimbal guards. Okay, we're going to place it on the floor like that. Okay, so you can see that we're actually getting stuff from here. So we should be able to see footage here. So takeoff permitted, but since like there is no GPS, I'm just gonna wait for it. It normally takes a while at my location to get about 7 or 8. So you need at least 4 in order to get like a GPS lock. But yeah, 7 or 8 is just a lot safer. So at this time, let's just look at the settings. So you can see that basically if you click the 3 dots right here, you can set your flight max altitude, max distance. As for the auto return home altitude, you just have to set this up to be higher than the object in your location. Okay, so let me see, control basically the same. You can adjust it to Imperial, gimbal modes, follow me. Yeah, I don't use it on FPV. This one, it doesn't work that well. Upward gimbal rotation, gimbal calibration. Okay, generally if it's not asking you to do it, you don't have to. All right, and the rest you can basically will be able to set up your switches manually if you wanted to assign like special functions. Okay, camera, video, subtitle, subtitles, okay. And yeah, basically all these are kind of identical to the DJI experience. All right, so you saw that home point has been updated because we have 9 satellites right now, which means that we are basically good to be able to return home if there's any problem. All right, so in order to activate the drone, okay, let me just make sure the drone is in the frame. You're basically going to put your gimbals like that, and you will be able to take off. Okay, yeah, so first of all, we know that this, like I can basically hear it, that it sounds super identical to DJI drones. So yeah, it's just the same motor, same whatever that you can see right here. Okay, so let's put it in front of the camera. All right. Okay, all right. So basically you just put your few motions like that. This goes left and right, this go front, and this come backs. And basically this motion does the yawing, and this goes up and down. Yeah, you can see that's very easy to control, like a very beginner friendly drone. All right, let's take up some altitude, and at the same time let's put some recording. So basically you can hit the button on your phone, or you can just basically hit the ones on your like right here. This is another option. So it's very easy. You don't even need to actually control the drone. It will just hover. A thing to pay attention about is this drone does not have any sensors, so which means you will have to like completely control it manually. In case like if there's an object, it's not going to stop, or it's not going to like go around it like the more advanced models. So this is the kind of the takeaway of this drone. So just make sure you're aware of that. But the rest, you can see that we're actually getting pretty decent footages out from this quad. So you can definitely use this quad to make some like really good family videos, or like if you just wanted to do like a really light school project or whatever, it's going to be perfect. Okay, so yeah, that's about it for the recording. And if you wanted to do some of the you can also do photos. So you have a single, you have AEB and time shot. So time shot is probably for you to, I don't know, let's try it. I don't know, I think it's just like the regular count second sort of type of shots. All right, so you can do single, you can just press the button here or press the button here. It's just going to take a photo like that. And normally I would suggest, if you're just trying to take photos, just use AEB. This is basically going to take a few photos, and you can just choose which one you like more in post. Okay, so yeah, so done with that one. And oh, in the bottom you can also have the option to determine if you wanted to let the camera do completely auto, or you wanted to do like a pro. Basically you can get to adjust the white balance, you can adjust your file format and shutter speed, basically all these kind of stuff. All right, yeah, it's not going to drastically change your image, but since this camera has a limitation, it's not going to be that significant. All right, so the video wise, okay, video wise, same thing. You also get to select from auto, or you wanted to select from pro. It's the exact same thing. So normally at this place you wanted to keep your ISO at 100. That's normally what I suggest. And shutter speed, generally we're trying to do like yeah, this one doesn't have any filter, so we're probably just going to leave it as auto at the moment, so the shot doesn't get messed up. Okay, and yep, so the next is, let's look at the quick shots. So this is probably the only auto functions that you're going to get out from this drone. So for this one, you can select an object, and it's basically going to be, okay, let me just make sure I'm high enough because I have some trees around me. So we wanted to focus like that.
3,
you can basically
2,
press start.
1.
And it's probably going to, what's it going to do? Oh, it's going to fly like that. Okay. So yeah, you just have to wait until this cursor complete, and basically it's a shot that you cannot alter, but it's a very good function that most of the people can use. You can see that this is a really good 3-4 movement shot, and basically you're if you're going to do it completely manual, you're basically going to go up, go backwards, and you're going to tilt your gimbal up. So it's a 3 movement shot. Yeah, so it returns. Okay, so actually this is pretty good. It returns to the previous location. And also, let's see, so the next function, let's look at rocket. No, let's just do circle. Like basically you just have to select a perimeter, and it's basically going to go around it.
3,
this is the only
2,
auto function that
1.
this drone has. There's not a lot of stuff here. So for this one, the biggest difference between this one and like the more advanced models that you're having on the market right now is you won't be able to manually control it. It doesn't actually focus like there. So if you start manually take over, it's just going to stop the recording. So you kind of have to like stuck with the auto functions. You just cannot do it manually like the Mini 3 Pro or the Mini 4 Pro, that you can select a object and you basically just control it like completely on manual to record. Okay, so boomerang is almost the same thing. If you wanted to do panel, this is basically, it's going to take a lot of photo and make a spear, that sort of thing. All right, so that's about it, mostly of the functions. But normally, if you just wanted to fly this completely manual, you can still do that. It's just going to take a lot of practice that you can still do orbits, but you just have to make sure that there's a lot of dogs barking. Okay, maybe my drone is driving them crazy. So you can do orbits yourself, but you can see that it's a lot harder compared to like the auto functions that you're just going to sometimes drift off course, and that's also a little problematic. Yeah, but anyway, okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention is you do have 3 modes. You do have the cine mode. Cine mode is basically, we refer as tripod mode. It's basically going to give you the more, like, the sticks are going to feel the most dull, and basically you will be able to do like a little more a more like precise like movements, instead of like it just doesn't jitter that much. And normal mode is, it's going to make your drone fly a little bit more faster, and your stick is going to be a little bit more agile. You can see that if I do it like this, you can see that it doesn't jitter. So you can see that it jitters much more. And if you wanted to do the sport mode, yeah, it's just going to like drastically change the speed. And yeah, so if you wanted to chase cars or whatever, I don't know how, I don't think you can do this. I don't think you will be able to do a lot with this drone, but basically you will be able to chase car if you wanted to do this. It's like probably 40 miles. I don't know how fast. Oh, let's see how fast can it go. As it has a mile. All right, so it's only, all right, 29 miles. Okay, not that impressive. Okay. Okay, so probably you can chase like really slow cars. But anyway, so let's put it back to cine mode, because normally that's the mode I like to put it on. All right, so let's test the return home function, because this is the most important function. In case you lost your drone, you will want it to actually come home to you. So it should be like activate like that. Why is it not activating? Oh, because I'm too close. Yeah, because I'm too close. You have to be in a certain, okay, let's move the drone to a little bit further place, and then let's press the
return to home.
Okay, so it's going to return to home. Okay, so I don't use this function a lot, and I'm not really sure that actually it's going to land or not, but let's just take a look. So but basically you can see that it's actually climbing to the setup altitude at 116 or 17, and it's basically going to be sticking right on top. I don't think it's going to land itself.
Landing.
Okay, actually going to land. Okay, my bad. I just don't use this a lot. So you can still probably, okay, do that. And if I wanted to take over, okay, so you have to tap to cancel landing. Okay, so you have to take over by do that. All right, so let's drop it down. All right, so you can see that this is basically optical flow. Let's do it again.
Take off.
So if you take it off like that, you can see that when you're trying to land, it's going to like slowly drop the drone like that. It's not going to like slam down like normal FPV drone does. All right, so basically I say that's about it for this video. All right, so basically this concludes our short test flight for the Specta Mini. You can see that this drone basically performs 99% like the DJI Mini 4K. It films like it, it flies like it, the apps looks like it. The only difference is it just doesn't have the logo on the arm. It just doesn't say DJI. And also, the good thing about it is the price is not same as DJI. You're basically saving about $50 compared to the current offering, as I believe this DJI Mini 4K sells at about $300 and this one is about $250. It kind of like wobbles a little bit on the pricing, but basically at the end of the year, if you see a good entry point, I would say 220 to 260 should be a good point to pull the trigger. This is going to be a very good start for beginners if you wanted to start your like drone journeys, and it's going to be a very good gift to give to people, because basically the DJI Mini worked about 3-4 years ago. Like, why shouldn't it work now? As long as it's cheaper, right? You're just getting older technology but at a cheaper price, but still a pretty good decent quad. Okay, so if you wanted to check out the Specta Mini, you can just basically check Amazon, or you can just click the link down below. And yeah, if any questions or comments, please feel free to leave it down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.